Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining. We are starting our third webinar for today with Leah Wexter, which is a program manager at the Administration of Social Services in the municipality of Tel Aviv-Yafo. Hi, Leah. Leah, I think you are on mute. Just make sure that you unmute yourself so we can hear you. Thank you.
Yeah, now I'm mute. Yeah.
Okay. So, this webinar is focused on the third challenge, the caring challenge, and Leah will elaborate more on that. If you have any questions following Leah's talking points, then of course feel free to share them. Unmute yourself and ask questions. Leah, we can start. So please
Hi,
tell us
everyone.
about the
What,
challenge from your perspective.
Couldn't hear you.
I'm saying, please tell us about the challenge from your perspective.
So, you already said what I'm doing. I'm the program manager of the administration of the social services here in Tel Aviv. And in the past 3 weeks, we're working around the clock. And we're joking that we're saying a work of 1 year in 1 day. And we're joking, but we're not, because this is what we're doing in the past three weeks and even a month. And to help people who suffer from any reason from the coronavirus. It can be anyone, and mostly it's the elderly and people with disabilities and families with kids with disabilities and other groups. And we're doing everything we can to help them to run this crisis. But the thing is that is among all of the great and job that we're doing, we found out that we are running after data. Hear me? We're running after data because in one hand, there's lots of systems that sometimes they even can't talk to each other, and sometimes they just don't talk to each other. And it makes us a lot of mess. And so the first thing that we've done about the data stuff is to build with very good friends here in the City Hall to build a data system in which we arrange all of the data. On the one hand, what we're asked to do, and on the other hand, what we're doing. And this is a very and this is very important data system that we have. And what we ask from you now is another problem that we're dealing with. We have here in the Tel Aviv city. Sorry, I'm a mother, and this is my kid. שיר, עוד 2 דקות. 2 דקות? לא, אני לא יכולה. אז לך לנטע. This is Shir. There's the service call. Everyone is joking, and it's very nice from you. There's a 106, the service and call center here in Tel Aviv, in which any resident can call and ask for help from any reason. But in these times, we found that many residents are calling to and asking for help for their own neighbors. For example, someone who calls us to help is an old neighbor from any reason. Sometimes he doesn't even know why, but he's calling us because he has a neighbor which he thinks he needs help. And so in the past 2 weeks, there's a social worker who sits there in this 106 call service, and she gets this call, and now she calls this neighbor, this old person, and she asks him what he needs. And after this, we found out what he needs. Sometimes it can be a very small thing, like he's stuck in his own apartment and he has money, but needs someone to go to get stuff and milk and bread for him from the supermarket downstairs. And what we need is a way to go back to the neighbor who called us and to ask him, hi neighbor, you called us about your neighbor, your old neighbor that you have. Maybe you want to help us to help him, and maybe you want to go and get the stuff for this neighbor called off. And I guess, we guess that most of the times the neighbor who called us would like to do it. Now we can't do it. Now we don't have any way to go back to the neighbor. There's no system, there's no app who can do it for us. And this is what we need, a way to go back to the neighbor and ask for help. And we want not only that the neighbor will do whatever he needs to do for this neighbor, we want him to tell us, hi, this is me, the neighbor. I've done it. Everything is okay. He got the help he needed. That's it in 2 minutes. This is what we need from you. A way to connect the people who calls us and to finish this, this, I don't know, thing. That's it, in 2 minutes.
Okay, thank you.
Your call.
Thank you, Leah. So any questions regarding the challenge and Leah's explanation? And also, this is a great opportunity to consult with Leah. If you have an idea.
You can ask anything.
Hi, Leah, this is Dana.
Hi,
I have a question for you. Do you feel that you have a good enough reach by using 106, or are you looking for other channels to approach residents digitally?
I think that 106 is doing a very good job, and most of the residents knows to use it. We get lots of calls from 106.
I'll say from my perspective, my own perspective as a Tel Aviv citizen that I heard about these local initiatives where neighbors help each other. I didn't know that 106 is an option in that matter. I mean, I didn't connect personally between the 106 option and the
ask for help
social solidarity and social working and etc. There are also questions here on their chat. People asked if this is the only problem, or are you identifying maybe other problems? And also, and then another was repeated, if you can give another example other than that one.
About 106?
About I would say the challenge or the problem that you're trying to address. I mean, does it only sum up to people who call about their neighbors, or maybe there are other
so there's the system we built, and we're still working on it by the time we speak. I really don't know if there is a way that in this hackathon it can be settled, because as I said before, there are lots of systems that sometimes they can't talk to each other. So this is a very big problem we're dealing with. This data situation. Maybe if you have any idea to solve it, it will be very, it will be, I don't know, great. Just a way to talk to the residents and to finish the circle of helping people.
Okay.
Ask something, yes.
I have a question. This is Giorgio.
Hi, Giorgio.
Well, I'm not living in Tel Aviv. I'm living in Rome. My question is the following: do you have among the data you have collected, do you have categorized those kind of social services that you need, so that maybe number one priority is this kind of service, this other kind? And I believe, and let's say having help from a neighbor is fine, of course, if it is something simple, but it might not be simple if there are people handicapped or there are people that have...
No, of course. This is what we're doing. We are helping people, but sometimes what I'm saying is sometimes the neighbor can help his own neighbor. And of course that we are helping. This is what we're doing. I said we're working all around the clock to help all of those people that the neighbor can't help them. I'm trying to find a way, how can the Tel Aviv residents help themselves? Okay, he's calling me, and I'll do, and you know what, Giorgio? I don't want to miss the social worker call to this old guy, because maybe he needs something that the neighbor can't give him. So it's important, and this is the reason that the social worker sits in 106 call and service center. But sometimes they don't need me, and I think that the city wants the residents to help themselves to build. I think that that's the way to build a strong city, and that the people knows how to help each other. With us, we're there. We're not living. We're here. We're doing whatever we can to help, but to help everyone to find a way to help each other. With me inside.
So we have another question here by Nir. Do you have data on how many elders per day call 106 the service center? And if not, can the participant?
I don't have it right now. There's many calls, but I don't have the number right now. I can find out, and I don't know how to connect with you after this, but I can have it.
Okay, sure. So you can forward it to me. We'll forward it to the Facebook group, the Telegram channel. Also, the CIO of Tel Aviv Municipality, Lior Schechter, who was here on the opening webinar today, this morning, she would elaborate tomorrow morning and maybe even before that on the specific data that it would be in use for the participants. Okay, other questions?
I want to ask about the challenge of loneliness. You talked about helping in day-to-day tasks, and we want to tackle the loneliness situation that the state doesn't require it for it. Like the state and the municipality also are now in charge of food and health, but the loneliness is a bit aside. So is it a challenge that you want to tackle as well?
It's I don't know, I may say funny. This is not funny. This is a very big problem, and this is a very big problem that we're dealing all of the year, and not only in the coronavirus time. We're dealing it. This is all around us, the loneliness thing. It can be mothers with little babies at homes. It can be elderly people. It can be, but if you have anything to say and to solve this coronavirus times about the loneliness, wow, you can help me, of course.
Okay, great. So I'm here with my partner, Moran, and we have a certain an idea about loneliness.
Of course, it's a very big problem, and we would like anyone to help us solve it in any way you can find.
Great, thanks.
Thank you. Other questions? So I'll tell you what, Leah can write down her contact details. We can forward it to participants in case you have other questions later on. Leah, would that be fine?
Of course.
Okay. So if anything comes,
you can write down my mail over here somewhere in the chat.
Yeah, in the chat. If you can write it, this would be perfect in the chat box. So if there aren't any questions, then I want to thank you for joining us for this specific webinar. I will tell you that we have in 14 minutes and 6.5 here in this channel, in this room, we're going to host Piero Pilazzaro from the city of Milan for a daily summary. And I advise you to stay. Piero is going to give us his perspective, both as a Milan citizen, but also a resident, but also as the Chief Resilience Officer and the city lead for 2020 Lighthouse Project, Sharing Cities at the Municipality of Milan. I think it would be super interesting. So I recommend you either stay or come back at 6:30 today for a daily summary. Also, we will have other personnel from the municipalities, so you can ask questions later on throughout this webinar. There is a question here for the people who are here by Shai. He asks, is there any server developer here in this group that's searching for a team up? So Shai, as for now, it seems that there aren't, but I suggest that you post this on our Facebook group, so maybe you can meet someone there. Sure. Okay. Then thank you very much, Leah.
Thank you all.
We'll
Thank you, guys.
here. Thank you, and we'll see you here at 6:30. I strongly recommend you to join us.
Thank you very, very much.
Thank you, guys.